Hello, everyone. This is Alexander Horat, and I would just wanted to talk about the same-sex plan that has been enslaving the human race for generations and for all known human history. And what is that? What has been enslaving us? What is the sick plan? This sick plan is the concentration of power, and it's something that we all need to understand and something we all need to fight against. Because if we don't, then we're made into slaves. And I'm just going to share a book. This is a book about history. You see that? That's the Pharaoh. That's a Roman soldier. This book tells the history of known history of mankind, and it talks about the pharaohs and a lot of other different civilizations. And one reoccurring pattern was the concentration of power at the top. One man, one person, along with his cronies, controlled all the wealth, all the power of that nation. And all the people were slaves to these cronies, these people on the top. And they had to do work, they had to pay a huge part of their salary to them. And in a large part, these leaders, like the Pharaoh, did nothing. He lived the life of luxury. He got a big golden coffin at the expense of probably hundreds of people that died. Um, and it's just a sick reoccurring part of history is one person or one group wanting to control a lot of people. And this controlling is not good for the human race. It keeps us down. It stifles innovation. It stifles the human expression, the human mind, what we're actually capable of. It just drains us because instead of thinking of new things to invent, new things to do, new philosophies, you're forced to work for a tyrant, and you're forced to pay a huge amount of your wealth to that tyrant. And I'm sad that this has happened so much in our human history, that there's always been a king or a baron or somebody who takes control of power, seizes it for unrighteous purposes, and then subjugates the people into unending slavery. And I think it's time for us to say no. Let's say no to this. Let's break the cycle. Let's move into a new dawn of freedom, a new day where everybody can be free, where we can get rid of this concentration of power, because where there's concentration of power, there's corruption. There's the corruption in the government. If you give one man so much power, he can abuse it. If you give 1,000 men less power, it's harder for them to abuse it. Not to say that they can't abuse it also, but it's just a lot harder to abuse it if power is not concentrated. It's basically if you have an unconcentrated, form of wealth, and that's the barter system. I'll barter you this book for a loaf of bread, but instead of having that, you have a concentrated wealth, which is the printing press, where I print all the money and then I redistribute it to you. But I can print as much money as I want in the future just for myself and for my crony henchmen. And then all your wealth becomes worth less because of my actions. And there's nothing the people can do to fight this Federal Reserve money printing. And for everybody who doesn't realize it, America is living under an oligarchy. And the reason why I say that is because we have a little over 300 people controlling the House, the Senate, the presidency. A nation of 300 million people controlled by 300. And what does that tell you, everybody? That tells me that we're controlled by a small group of people who are making the decisions for millions. Is that concentration of power wise? Just looking under the principles of this concentration of power, it can easily become corrupted. It's a lot easier to pay off 300 men than 30,000. And unfortunately, this is a cycle that we need to change. We need to get rid of the concentration of power. We need to deconcentrate it. We need to have more local government. We need to have more representation. And in this way, we can begin a new era for humanity, a new era of truth and justice. The Constitution, this document right here, it actually talks about that each congressman shall represent 30,000 people. And how many people does a congressman represent now? Over 1 million. They don't even get to meet all their people, all their constituents in their lifetime. When your rulers live far away from the common people, they're doomed to corruption in a large sense. So we just need to all keep an eye out for this. We all need to stand up against this and do what's right. And I would just like to say thank you for watching this video. I hope you have a good rest of your day. God bless.